Good morning, friends. Kristie here with Kristie's Connections, and as promised, we have some surprise pennies at Dollar General. In fact, we have 33 of them. So this has turned out to be quite a nice little day for us penny shoppers. Now let's chat about the issues with the original penny list. Okay, gang, so I am going to give you one example of what I talked about in yesterday's video. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. But this right here is the item and the UPC that was on the original penny list that came from Dollar General. And the item, as you see, is Max Build More Set. So, as I told you yesterday, the app and the list are just wrong. When I pull that UPC up, this is what shows up. This is a Zuru Max Build More Set. As you can see that little egg thing right there, that is the visual that comes up. And the description does match. However, as I told you, the visual is in fact wrong, and these are the items you're actually looking for. They look nothing like that app picture. So you can, I'm sure, seeing the huge difference. So let's look at that actual egg. Different UPC, and when I put that in the app this morning, it in fact is not a penny. So guys, this is why it is super important that you guys get in-store pictures so that you get accurate information. The list that went out this week, like I said, the UPCs were wrong, the pictures were wrong in the app. There's no way you guys can find stuff if you have a picture that's incorrect and a UPC that's incorrect. There's no way you're going to find them. So good thing we've got you all the in-store pictures and the correct UPCs. If you haven't seen yesterday's penny list video, go check that out. It has all the accurate information. I have confirmed all those items did in fact penny that were in that video. Let's look at your surprise pennies for today. Okay, folks, and as I said, there's 33 of them. We're going to let them scroll on through. Now, do keep in mind a couple things I want to talk about these penny items. One, these have been in clearance sections for a while, which isn't shocking. That is how Dollar General and a lot of stores, in fact, do their discontinued items. They do discontinue them and they do sit in the stores a while, and then they do eventually penny. That's where a penny list do in fact come from. So you've probably seen these. Another place you've probably seen this is we did have in a select few stores back in September of 2023, I believe it was the 13th, if my memory serves correct, that these in fact did penny, but they only pennied in select stores. And it wasn't like a lot of stores. So some of you probably remember that happening if you scored pretty big on that. I know when I score big, those are generally the times that stays in my memory. So if this is looking familiar to you and you're thinking, oh, these already pennied, they did, you are correct. But again, it was only very scattered stores, and that was back in September of 2023. So if your store was one of those that did in fact penny back then, you likely won't find these items at all. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping today. I did want to give you a heads up on that. So lots of fun, again, more toy items. So what does that mean for you? If you are out and about doing your thing, obviously always scan like items. So if you're out there, scan toys in your clearance section. There are definitely still plenty of toys in the clearance section that have not pennied. So this is not every toy that's in the clearance section will be a penny. Definitely not going to be the case. We do have quite a few toys that are newer that have started, that are discontinued and are now part of our clearance sections. So just be aware, it's definitely not going to be all. If you're not seeing it here and you find it, give it a scan. You never know, you may discover a surprise penny. Okay, now as I'm recording this should get out before your stores open or very shortly after. However, I'm very nervous about it because your penny list video that I put up last night took over an hour to an hour and a half to upload. So I'm super nervous and I'm praying this one uploads good for you. Hopefully it gets out in a good time, but if not, please know, gang, that's out of my control. And I don't know if it's the weather, but my cable or my internet is just very slow sometimes. All right, let's look at some hidden and following Christmas items. We're going to talk through these just a tad. First up, we have these really awesome snowflake creamer and sugar canisters. Definitely look in your NCI section for them. They've been in there quite some time, but they're absolutely very adorable. And then we also have the matching spoon rest. Check your NCI sections for those. We do have some toys. You guys definitely want to check your toy section. And here's a canvas. Check those canvases. These Christmas ones do end up mixed up in with the regular canvases sometimes. And who can forget our stinky little brooms? Those are included in our penny today. Now these here, this is actually a pop shelf item that was sold in the regular Dollar Generals. They actually came from 2023. They penny in the regular pop shelf stores, but not the regular stores. Keep an eye out for those because they did follow this year along with other NCI Christmas themed items. So keep an eye out for those NCI Christmas themed items that have that penny or the pop shelf price on those. Okay, now let's look at some items you may find in your NCI section. These are Christmas pillows. Easily could see these being a miss. Check your pillow section in the NCI section. And these cups, we're going to go through a bunch of cups that I have seen in almost every store I've gone in. These are on the top shelf for some reason over in the NCI section, and with the other stainless steel tumblers and things like that. I've seen them in every store. These are part of Christmas, so they are a penny today. Everything I'm showing you right now is already a penny. So make sure you're checking those NCI sections. And of course, don't forget your throws. I put them out in other videos, but we know that we have NCI throws that follow a lot of the different holiday seasonal type stuff. So do not forget to check the NCI section for those hanging throws that are on those wooden hangers in the NCI section. So there's pictures over on the website of those under the seasonal Christmas visual page. Now we're looking at some candies. These are some of the candies that I wanted to give you heads up on that have in fact been following the Christmas markdowns. So definitely keep an eye out for these because these are in fact 1 penny today and have been following Christmas. All right, gang, while these are scrolling, I just want to address a question, well, a couple of them that were in yesterday's videos. There were questions in the comments. Do always read them, gang. So I figured if these lovely viewers had these questions, you may have them too. First up, the inventory. As I tell you guys all the time, inventory portion of the app is never correct. But also the other thing that is never accurate is where it says item not sold in store. Completely ignore that. Okay, just because it says that, I wouldn't not go to that store looking for your penny items or your clearance items. It's completely false. Just ignore that. Next question, where's the core toy section in Dollar General? There's normally 2 toy aisles. First one is typically the seasonal that has all the dotted stuff on it. And then there's normally another aisle that doesn't have the toys with the dots and symbols. That is the core one. However, for these items, I would check both sections and the clearance section as well. Okay, gang, moving on. What you've been seeing on your screen for the last few seconds is actually a nice little gem that I got from my source a while back. And it is the food reset schedule. Planned on sitting on this for a bit, but I'm sure as most of you guys know, I can't sit on stuff like I once did. Everybody and their brother is doing this now, and information just doesn't get held anymore, which I can't stand because I feel like it messes things up for a lot of us. Nonetheless, it's already circulating out there, so I did want to get you guys updated on what we're looking for the food resets. Obviously, we're in the middle right now of the fridge reset, which is the dairy and the deli. If you need to learn more about that, there's videos right here on this YouTube channel. Go be sure and go check those out because that is currently happening. Now, we do have the ice cream reset that will start on the 23rd of February, and then in April, we will be doing the frozen food resets. So that is what we have coming up as far as these food resets. Very exciting. So again, check out the fridge resets, and of course we'll have your information for the ice cream resets. We actually already have quite a bit of it, so we're already getting prepared for that. Okay, gang, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, I am going to start you a surprise penny list page over on kristiesconnections.com. Your visuals for the penny list for today are already up on the website on your penny list webpage for easy reference while you are in store. Be sure and check back on that surprise penny webpage. If more surprise pennies come in, which I expect they may, I will be adding them over there to that webpage as opposed to putting out another video. Good penny luck to all of you today, but that is all I have for you in this video. Stay beautiful, stay kind, stay amazing, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, friends.